we had a mirror match. We had Galcian versus Knef. And we had Coalition versus Soban. But on Tight End Passage, this is the first time we're going to see in Artifact Cup 30 a good old CVG game. So this is Coercer in the Galcian, who I'm going to be very excited to see play. And Spychy in the Coalition, who I'm not as familiar with, but has been very amusing to see play so far. So looking forward to this from both of them. And we are on Tight End Passage, the proper 1v1 version of the map.
Salvager online. Production cruiser moving in rally position. Destined verified.
Carrier systems.
I want to point out just some little things. Coercer moved his production cruiser right over here to build a salvager, and then he's moving it back to build a salvager over here. It's the little things like that that can give you an edge, right? Because this salvager is just going to be 5 or 10 seconds ahead resourcing, and that just means another salvager load 5 or 10 seconds earlier. You never ever know when that can make a difference. And let's face it, early game there's not much to do.
Carrier systems operational.
Salvager online.
Other little things, Coercer retired his base runner there, but got a scanner out a little earlier. And also put it... Actually, it's totally able to be fired upon from over there, but whatever. Over here, covering the rear approach. Good stuff. See what Spychy's doing. You know, remote mining and... Looks like he retired his... No, he didn't retire. Did he retire? What? Oh, right, sorry.
Salvager online.
This resourcing up here is Coercer's, which is why he's got the 87 there. You get, what is it? 287, 237, something like that, resources from retiring a base runner. So that was just a little confusing.
Carrier weapon systems online.
187? I don't know. 137, something like that. If you see a 37 or an 87, it usually means that somebody retired their base runner and didn't drop an extra load off. But Spychy still has his base runner, just camping out on the near artifact.
We have visual on the artifact. We must claim Sejuke's legacy. Defense alert. Heretic forces are extracting an artifact.
Salvage systems initialized. Maneuvering out.
Contact locked. Check sensors for position.
And Coercer is going for railgun tech, so this is a great map to do it on.
Verified.
There are these huge open sweeping dunes, and this map is also big and pretty good for Sandskimmer and LAV raids, so having assault railguns to deal with that can really help.
Production cruiser rendering complete.
This is also a really fun map for ranged calibration with heavy railguns, and I really hope we see that. I don't know if Coercer does that, but we'll see. Coercer, man, if you don't do ranged calibration, you and me, 1v1, we're going to do a ranged calibration game. It's going to be awesome.
Coordinates verified.
A strike craft has been destroyed.
Course set. Assault railgun to destination line. Defense alert. Heretic forces have secured an artifact. Online.
This is fun. I have not seen a double production cruiser rush in a while. I don't know why I missed that Coercer was building a production cruiser. You guys are probably watching that and going, come on, it's obvious. Anyway, double production cruiser assault rail rush. This is, like, super awesome if well executed. It's a little late. Not later than a normal production cruiser rush, but not later than a normal double production cruiser rush, but it's late in the sense that the fact that Coercer had to pay for and build another production cruiser means that this is later than a single production cruiser rush would be, or many other kinds of rushes. But he's gonna have 2 PCs here. And the question is, is Spychy going to notice? Yes, he is, because Coercer's going to move in as soon as he has 4 assault railguns. Now, Coercer does not have... as I say it, he finished the tech. He totally does have railgun armor. He didn't, as I was about to start saying that. And he could afford railgun armor level 2. That would be cool to see as well. But really, he's going to have tons of assault railguns. He needs to fix his rally point there. But Spychy has like nothing to deal with this. He could build railguns. And like Spychy kind of has to build railguns and rally them over here. Or here or something and get them far away from the assault railguns, but get enough of them to do some damage.
Command verified.
I don't think lav armor is a good idea. LAVs are not going to be able to deal with this many assault railguns, especially ones that are armored, and that's very easy to tell that they're armored. You just click on it. If it's green, there's armor, and then you can get to memorizing the numbers, but really green just means better than normal. Railguns here would have helped. I think popping for upgrade carrier production instead of LAVs, and then also popping for a few railguns rapidly would help. And the reason is, even with 2 production cruisers, you know what? Coalition can just outproduce Galaxian players.
Defense alert. Production cruiser engaging the enemy.
But it's not really happening here. Spychy's going to use his carrier, so that's cool, taking out one of these assault railguns. And I'd actually really like to see Spychy go after the production cruisers after he's killed a few assault railguns, because that can really damage Coercer. Dude, look, your carrier, look how much damage. Well, actually, really, it's the LAVs. But yeah, production cruiser here from Coercer gonna go down, and that changes this fight a lot. Now, if Spychy can preserve his units, maybe pop out a few railguns, he can totally win against these assault rails. It all depends on the positioning, but you know what? A few LAVs getting right up here fighting these assault rails, they can win that fight. Looks like he's gonna go for it. Or for the other production cruiser. And if you take out the other production cruiser, even if you just start taking out railguns, this one production cruiser is going to have a hard time keeping up.
Move us out. We're done.
Spychy's economy is really damaged, but you know what? Coercer's remote mining too, so there's absolutely an opportunity here. And if Spychy can, if you keep following and get this production cruiser, oh, come on, man, let's do something.
Destination locked in.
Sitting back and building more salvagers, I couldn't blame you for that either. Let's take a look at the resources. That might be necessary. Yeah, you can't afford to build LAVs when you got to be building salvagers right now. But, oh no.
Carrier range system is online.
Okay, he had to build a logistics module. He's taken it out. Well, build salvagers after that, please. You've got LAVs though. Yeah, grab an artifact. You've already got 2.
Verified.
Raid resources, kill a production cruiser. That would have actually been really cool to keep a scout around there, track that production cruiser, keep raiding.
Production systems online.
But I guess he's playing it safe. Honestly, I think he could have played safe with the carrier. Just use that to kill any railguns that come in, bully them around, and then take the LAVs and kill that other production cruiser. That would have been awesome. But oh well. Base runner bait coming in. I don't know if it was intended to be bait, but it totally is bait. Walking right into the low ground here when these railguns are on the prowl, but here come the LAVs. Damage could be done. Coercer still only has railgun armor level 1, and these have armor level 2. So, used well, these LAVs can do a lot against these assault railguns. Now, this one's like a little spread out, so that's hard to do, but
New course entered. Awaiting deployment. Acknowledge.
At the very least, Spychy has an opportunity to rebuild his economy here. And if you use these LAVs to pressure the economy, that would be super, super cool. Hard to do, but he's definitely not being too afraid. I mean, Spychy is being cautious with these LAVs, but still making some aggressive moves with them, retreating from time to time. It would be nice to see him bring back some of the damaged LAVs back to the carrier to repair. Just because he's in kind of a survival mode right now. Ooh, don't move into the low ground! This is really bad for him because he's in this low ground and doesn't have an angle on these railguns. I think if you're Spychy right now, you can't be following bait like this. You really just need to take your wins where you can get them and run away from fights where you can't. So running away here, good idea, but always be positioning for that angle. Look around for, you know, where's the lone heavy railgun that I can take out with the LAVs. Just hit and run. And all you've got is 8 LAVs. You can do a lot, but it can be difficult. So, more LEVs coming out from Spychy. He is invested them. I think railguns would have been better still. He's got the RUs. Excuse me, that was Coercer's resources.
Operator, new course.
Spychy has even more RUs. Totally have the RUs for railguns, dude. You need CUs for salvagers. Build railguns,
Assault railgun
and then
service.
take out the assault rails,
Artifact
right?
extraction
If you
team
use
on
the LEVs to pressure the assault rails, you can constrain their movement, and then the railguns push them away. So I hope we still see it. He's nicely scouting here. I hope he doesn't lose that LEV. But he at least can see the heavy railguns now. He knows that there's some damage he can do. But he's letting Coercer get the high ground here.
Ready to adjust. All systems ready. Push out.
And Coercer doing a pretty good job using the assault rails here and moving around with them.
Ready.
And he's got armor level 2 here, so Spychy really needs to get up on this high ground while the rails retreat.
Confirmed. We're a little busy here.
Instead, he's sort of following and letting the assault rails do their thing, which are going to totally chew up these LEVs. Now, railguns. Railguns. Build a railgun.
Reposition.
You've moved the enemy railguns from Coercer far away. You can build a railgun of your own.
Confirmed.
Command authority ready.
It will kill the enemy railguns.
Ready for dispatch. Operator, new course.
I'm really curious if Spychy has played Gaussian, because if you haven't played Gaussian, you might just look at this and go, oh my gosh,
Ready and waiting.
Coercer has 6 railguns.
Long range advance.
But
set.
assault
Ready for
railguns
dispatch.
and
Relay command.
Production cruiser
heavy
ready
railguns are
to
totally different beasts.
Defense alert.
And
Hostile carrier
really what
detected.
Coercer has here is 4 short-range units and 2 long-range units, which means you can kill these with a few railguns, you can kill these with a few LEVs. It's actually that simple a lot of the time.
Established. Tracking
Especially as you apply
targets.
pressure and cause the units to separate, because the assault rails, as we can see, have a speed of 100. Heavies are only 62.
Railgun under
So
fire.
this heavy here going to be
We have visual on
taking
the
damage
artifact.
from high ground
We
bonus
must
to
claim
LEVs
Systems
as
legacy.
the
Confirmed. Range systems
armor,
confirmed.
excuse me, as the assault railguns retreat faster. I don't think this is a wise use of resources from
Artifact
Spychy,
extraction team on route. Mark.
especially when all these assault rails are hanging around.
Course set.
Hostile strike craft
Build a railgun.
destroyed.
Command verified.
Course verified.
You have everything you need. You have so many RUs. You could have all the upgrades. You could have the mag accelerator upgrade. You could have the armor upgrade. You could have power reserve. You could...
Assault railgun in service. Artifact detected. Secure the holy site.
You have no CUs, but you have a lot of RUs.
Advanced to distant
Here we go.
Artifact extraction team en route.
All right, perfect. Now we have railguns. Now all we need to do is use a few LEVs, get vision, scout around, use the railguns,
Ready for dispatch. Ready and waiting.
push around. You notice how Coercer is not perfectly keeping the heavy railguns in there, and he's very heavy on assault
Ready for
railguns.
dispatch. Course map.
You can totally threaten Coercer here by just getting a few pot shots off on the assault railguns.
Artifact extraction
Maneuver around,
confirmed.
have a scout up closer,
Force out.
and keep the railguns back. I know I'm totally backseat playing the game right now and not actually casting it, but like I just
New course hit.
Coercer is going to win the game with artifacts, is what's going to happen. He's at 3 out of 5. He's going to go up to 4. He's moving in as his
Assault
carrier.
railgun in service.
Push out.
But this railgun has an opportunity to do so much damage.
Synchrus is watching. Secure the final artifact. Artifact extraction confirmed.
System power.
Railgun taking fire.
Course set.
It's going to be destroyed. There's no upgrades on it.
Command verified. Rally position marked. Rally position marked.
Destination verified.
Coercer, dude. Also,
Destination
like,
verified.
seriously, you are so passive right now.
Awaiting deployment.
You could have won this game 10 minutes ago. What are you doing, man?
Course mapped.
Maybe that's a style
Salvage
thing.
construction complete. Acknowledged.
Which is
Artifact
fair.
detected. Secure the holy site. Rally position marked.
Proceed to map.
Makes for a
point.
slightly more
Artifact extraction
frustrating,
team en route.
excruciating cast when I'm just looking at this like one of you can be doing something. Coercer's gonna be
Command link recognized.
Very cautious here, though. Gonna be just taking in that base runner. This is the game-winning artifact, so unless all of these LEVs move over there right now, and this carrier moves over there right now, this game is over in Coercer's favor.
Hostile carrier spotted.
And since they did not begin moving when I said right now, I would say this game is over and Coercer has won. Not really a surprise given all the railguns, but just a little... I would really like to see, just even if Spychy's gonna lose, just make some cool moves here. There are railguns up here. One of them even has a high ground bonus. Both of them have high ground bonuses. And there's the... Yes, this is it. This is what you do. Confuse the assault railguns.
Ready to adjust.
Kill the heavy railguns. Use the LAVs. Use the railguns. Okay. All right. Coercer wins. Very nice job. Total map domination. We can see the vision here. Scouting on the back. Scouting on the middle. Just streams of railguns. Anti-air, just in case Spychy was stacking air. He went for an expansion here and never even used it because he had so many resources he didn't have to. He was floating a little bit, but you know. But this was cool. This back here, it was a taste of what I was kind of thinking Spychy should do the whole game. He had 2 railguns back here. Back behind his base, not up by his resourcing, not up in front by his carrier, but just right back here. On a little bit of a hill, and not even an obvious one. It's really quite subtle. And these assault railguns, with 1 heavy railgun, come into the low ground, where Spychy can see them, and where he had LAVs, and managed to push back those units. You know, Coercer is sitting here going, ah, crap, I'm under attack. Drag, move back. The heavy railgun comes back with them, and he's saying, oh man, you know, I gotta take care of the LAV. So it looks like he did actually finally prioritize the heavy railgun on these railguns over here. But heavy rail took some damage. I think if I were in Spychy's position, I would have prioritized the heavy rail just because then these rails can move in with impunity. But a lot of damage done to the rails. I think 1 even went down, maybe 2. A lot of LEVs went down there. You know, not a perfect fight. But considering that there were only 2 railguns here, unupgraded, versus all of these railguns, yeah, like, pretty cool fight there. That's the kind of fight that you can often take and do a lot of damage with. Then again, just building like 1 billion rails and throwing them into your enemy's base and also capturing all the artifacts is a totally valid way to win. So nice job, Coercer. Anyway, this is the 4th game on Tight End Passage. We've got another game on Tight End Passage, and then that will wrap up round 5 of the Artifact Cup. Of Artifact Cup 30, but there's like another 4 rounds. So stay tuned. There'll be more. I apologize for my kind of frantic casting here. It was just a lot of tension there and not a whole lot happening for a bit of that game. And then so much cool action right at the end. Hope you guys thought it was as cool as I did. Stay tuned and thank you for watching.